Hello and welcome to Preps Overtime, presented by Tom Dinsdale. I'm Jack Sheard. With me today is prep football expert Dale Miller from The Independent. We'll be talking about some prep football matchups from last weekend and this coming week. But first we're going to discuss, or at least I will, a little bit of volleyball news. The Omaha World Herald prep rankings came out, and 4 of the statewide top 10 are area schools. Grand Island Senior High is ranked number 3. Grand Island Central Catholic 7. The Northwest Vikings are number 8, and Aurora is number 10. 3 of those 4 teams, Dale, were at the Grand Island Central Catholic Invite this past weekend that GICC won. So good volleyball teams here across the central Nebraska area, and some good football teams as well, it looks like.
There sure are.
We had a good matchup Friday night?
Sure did. In Aurora, number 1 McCook in Class B took on number 7 Aurora, and McCook just kind of showed why it's the top team in Class B with a 42-7 victory. Its offense, its running game really got going, the option, and Aurora had a tough time stopping that. And the Aurora offense found out that McCook's defense is as good as advertised too. They only got 1 touchdown late, and on their other 10 possessions, they averaged 5 yards per possession. So
ouch.
McCook, obviously a tough team, and Aurora will be looking to bounce back from that.
Part of that was probably Tyrone Sellers.
Correct. A defensive end, tight end for McCook. He's a Kansas recruit, and he lived up to his billing. McCook doesn't play too often here in the more eastern part of the state, but about 1,400 fans there got to see him in action, and he showed he's definitely worth the billing.
Good chance that Nebraska fans will be seeing their Huskers play against him someday, right?
That's right.
Kansas. This weekend, we got some more matchups. Tell me what excites you about this weekend. What game sticks out?
I like the one in Duncan Field in Hastings, where Class C1 number 2 Hastings St. Celcilia is taking on number 6 Columbus Scotus. It's the 3rd straight matchup for St. Cecilia against a top 10 team, and they've coasted so far to a 2-0 record, giving up about 100 yards of offense per game. And it's a big switch for them. Last week they took on then number 6 Fairbury with a big passing attack and shut them down, and now they take on Scotus, which has a powerful running game. So it'll be a switch up for the Blue Hawk defense, and be interesting to see how it fares.
St. Cecilia be looking pretty good at going 3-0 with that schedule.
Certainly. In the past few years, their non-district schedule hasn't been nearly as strong, and they've had a lot of blowouts. So if they can go 3-0 against this going into district play, they'll certainly cement their reputation as a state title contender this year.
Well, that sounds like a good matchup to watch. And Gish plays Thursday night at Seacrest in Lincoln. What do you know about this game?
Well, they're taking on Lincoln Southwest. It will be the final non-district game for the Islanders. Both teams are 2-1. Both teams have only lost in a double overtime game. And both teams have big district openers next week, with Grand Island going to North Platte and Lincoln Southwest taking on Kearney. So each team will really want to win here, get some momentum going into that district play.
If the Islanders win this, they got a good start to the season, right?
Really good. I'm sure that Kearney loss, I'm sure, still stings a little bit, but they've faced 3 really tough games here, so to go 3-1 into district play, I'm sure they've got to be happy with that.
That sounds good. Well, we'll be at some of these games. You'll have to check back with theindependent.com for highlights, and as always, Dale Miller's stories in the paper and online for all your prep news. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with some more Preps Overtime.